You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa. You're welcome to the Morning Spotlight. Today we have a fantastic lineup of news headlines and a special segment to kickstart your day. I am Courage Oluwakemi Yusuf.
Yes, thanks for tuning in to the Magnet TV. I am Joy Egungun. We'll be right back after this short break.
You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy.
Welcome back. Now the news headlines for today. Hardship protests, US and UK, Canada issue security alerts. Traders fear looting. The United States, the United Kingdom and Canada have raised the alarm over the likelihood of violence during the planned August 1st End Bad Government protests in the country. The three countries in separate travel alerts cautioned their nationals in Nigeria to avoid getting caught in the confrontation that might come in between the security agencies and the protesters, citing past incidences. The advisories come as apprehensive market leaders in Abuja, Sokoto, Kano, Katsina, Ogun, Osun, Zamfara, Gombe, and other parts of the country requested strong security around the markets during the rallies. Also, in preparation for the demonstration, the police authorities have recalled all personnel on non-essential duties.
Fuel rises to 1,300 naira per litre as depots run dry. Many depots for premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, are currently dry, leading to fuel scarcity and attendant queues in Lagos, Ogun, parts of Abuja, Niger, and some other states across the country. The Punch reports that black marketers have taken advantage of the situation, selling as high as 1,300 naira per litre and 1,500 naira per litre in parts of Lagos and Ogun states. Long queues started building up at fuel stations in Abuja and Lagos on Friday and have persisted. On Saturday, while reacting to the long queues and scarcity in some parts of the country, the Nigerian Petroleum Company Limited said the tightness in fuel supply and distribution was caused by a hitch in the discharge operations of a couple of vessels. We'll be right back after the short break. Stay tuned.
You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy.
Welcome back from that short break. Now, the issue of fuel scarcity has always been a long time standing issue in Nigeria, and the issue of fuel scarcity has affected transportation in Nigeria. Bus drivers, keke drivers, bike riders have increased their fees outrageously, and this has affected how Nigerians move to and fro from work. Imagine, Joy, coming to this ring road this morning. I spent about 1,000 naira. This is where we used to go to before, come from Idogbo to Ring Road for 300 naira or even less. Now, this issue has caused a whole lot of things, and it has also caused a hike in market prices. You see people exporting from other states like Kano, Zamfara. They'll tell you, oh, it's not our fault. It's the hike in the, what's it called, the bus fares. So this thing has to be looked into by the government, because this is actually weighing down on the economy of the country. Please, what's your take on the fuel scarcity?
It's a really, really big issue. I even experienced something like that yesterday. I started looking for fuel. There was no fuel. I went to like 5 filling stations. They were complaining, we don't have fuel, we want to increase the price.
Can imagine.
I was so tired and frustrated. I needed to put on the generator. but there's no fear for me to put on my jeans. So what would I do? There's no light, nothing. So the government should really look into this issue. It's a very big problem. And if this fuel scarcity can be worked on and the hike in price can be looked into, half of the problem in Nigeria will be solved.
Exactly.
So we are going on to the nation news, Nigeria. Leave Lagos out of it, NLC tells protest promoters. Lagos State Council of the Nigeria Labour Congress has called on its members not to stay away from their offices during the period marked for protest. Its chairperson, Mrs. Funmi Sesi, said the organizers should stay away from Lagos and to go to their respective states to stage their protest. Sesi added that the decision of the Congress was informed by the intelligence report that some miscreants were planning to disturb the movement of innocent citizens in the state. She said the organizers should go to their own state to start this protest. They should not do that here in Lagos. These people are faceless. Why should they come to Lagos and cause havoc? They should go to their own and start it. Peaceful protest is part of the rights of the citizens, but protests characterized by threats, bloodshed, and destructions of properties and lives of innocent citizens is unacceptable. This is a very big problem. Now we are preparing for the protest in August 1st, Abi?
Yes.
August 1st to 10th of this month. What is their plan? Are they planning to cause havoc, problems, or bloodshed? This is a big problem. The government, the police officials should look into this issue. They should not allow this protest to cause destructions to any properties or lives. So, Courage, what do you have to say concerning this protest that we Nigerians are planning to embark on?
The truth is that some persons will still hijack this protest. There is no way, I believe the only way to ensure that this protest is peaceful is for the protest to not hold at all.
Yes.
Because there are some persons that have already been put in place to hijack this protest, although they are planning to have it peacefully.
Yes.
But it will still be hijacked by hoodlums, by political members trying to, use it to their own advantage.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just believe that the government should come together to
avoid
sort
this protest.
out what is actually going on in the country, because lives will be lost just the same way they did EndSARS.
Yes.
EndSARS actually
True.
started as a peaceful protest,
Yeah,
actually,
true.
but it was later hijacked, which led to the loss of lives, properties, and all that. So I just believe that this protest will still be hijacked, and I would advise people to stay in their houses,
Yes.
just to ensure that you are on the safer side of the protest. Just remain in your houses. If you can avoid going to work that morning, please avoid it. And if you want to get anything before that August 1st, please get it before that day, just to avoid stories that touches the heart. Now, moving on to the next headlines on on Nigerian newspaper. It says, Obaseki, I have genuine interest for the poor. Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki at the weekend at the launch of the second phase of Edo Feeding Program said the initiative had no political undertone. He said it was put in place in view of his interest for the poor. Obaseki, who spoke at the Benin Anglican Diocese Bishops' Court in the state capital, said the third phase of the feeding program would be different to ensure beneficiaries were put on a sustainable program, thereby living independent of the palliatives. It said the distribution of food items for the vulnerable was through the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Muslim groups, and other associations. Obaseki urged the federal government to copy the model, which it described as a drop in the ocean, compared with what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration was spending on food palliatives. But the efforts of the state government were reaching the real residents in need. He said, thank God that the people, beneficiaries here, are not politicians. I do not have any politician here with me, and I am not contesting an election. Now, the issue of food is one of the major problems we face in Nigeria. Hunger, this is what makes people sell their vote, because when the people are hungry, they have no other choice than to go any means to feed their stomach. Joy, please, what's your take on this?
This is a really big problem also in Nigeria. This food distribution should be taken to heart by the government. These people, they need food, they need shelter. This should be provided. It's our right as citizens to be well fed, to be provided for. So I urge the government and those in charge of this, they should take it to heart, because these people are really suffering. The citizens are suffering. You don't expect them to sit at home and not feed their children, especially the parents. The children will always cry, "Daddy, mommy, I'm hungry, I need food." So they will sell their votes just to feed their stomach. So this issue should really be handled in this country.
Like it's popularly said, an hungry man is an angry man.
Yes.
Like August 1st protest is actually based on the hardship in the country, which majorly is food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Food.
So we'll be right back after the short break. Stay tuned.
You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on.
Welcome back. I know you enjoyed the last session we just had, the news headlines, but now we'll be delving into our special segment, and we have a special topic to talk about. This is a social media trend. It's been trending on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, even on YouTube, and it's a dance step. And it has this funny dance step. It's a song, Gwo 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 Ngwo by Mike Ojaga, but Brain Jotter used this song to publish a movie, I don't know, a skit. So we have something to say about that. Courage, what's your take on this?
Okay, that song and the dance step is a song of deception.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a little backstory on the song. The king of the animal kingdom made a decree that whosoever can bring the elephant to him will be giving his daughter to marry. Now, every other animal felt, oh, this is an impossible task. But you all know the tortoise is a very, very cunning animal. So the tortoise went to the elephant and said, oh, great elephant, the king is throwing a party in your honor and he has asked you to be the chairperson of that great ceremony. The elephant was like, oh wow, that's good. So the tortoise started leading the elephant to the king's palace. As they were going, the tortoise is a slow animal, so it was actually drawing the elephant back. And the elephant was like, oh, you're slowing us back, you're dragging us back. Then the tortoise was like, oh, I have short legs, I cannot walk fast. Please, can I ride on your back? The elephant said, okay, climb on my back. So the tortoise decided going. Then thereafter, the tortoise said, oh, I think I am about to fall down. Can I tie a rope on your neck and hold the rope to stabilize myself? And the elephant said, okay. That was actually what the king said. Whosoever can bring the elephant to him on a rope, he will give. Exactly. So they got to the event, and the tortoise went to the king and handed the leash to the king and said, oh great king, I have brought the elephant.
That was a really smart move.
Yeah, so the king was like, oh, how were you able to achieve this? The elephant was like, what is happening here? The tortoise said, any which way now way. So the king gave the tortoise his daughter for marriage. Now the way they they would dance and raise their leg is the movement of the elephant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
now I understand why. The dance step is a really funny one. You really need to go and watch this video. It's so funny. Many persons are taking this trend and they've created lots of content on it. I was even discussing this thing with one of my neighbors. He was saying that this song has been for like 41 years now.
Wow.
And Brain Jotter was kind enough to give this Mr. Mike Ojaga the sum of 2 million naira for using this song as his content. So viewers around the world, I don't know what you have to say concerning this. You really need to go and watch this video. It's so funny.
I think I'll try out that dance.
Yes, I was watching one on TikTok yesterday. If you see the way this lady was dancing, after she finished dancing, she just took this plantain leaf and she flew like, this Nigeria believe now that witches, they use plantain leaf to fly.
Exactly.
So it was so funny, and someone commented like, Benin people now don't enter this trend. Una must do now on different. So it was so funny. So
I was watching one yesterday, and the guy was dancing, and before you know, he fell into a gutter. Another one was dancing in the marketplace. As he was dancing, he mistakenly threw someone's bowl of gari. So you see, these dance steps has really gone a long way to put smiles on Nigerians' faces, despite the action. So I believe Brain Jotter actually did a fantastic job by coming out with that skit, and he has also given Mike Ejeagha publicity, because before now, prior to this moment, nobody knew about the song. Yes, and I believe that these skit makers, these content creators, they actually go a long way to promote artists.
Yes,
and I think they should continue the good work. It's actually nice.
He went beyond the normal. Like, people will not even expect this from Brain Jotter.
Exactly.
Can you imagine? This song has been for 41 years and nobody knows about the song. Nobody knows about the background story, anything that happened concerning it. And this is an ancient story. So, viewers, thank you for staying tuned. This is the Morning Spotlight, and we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday, this same time, 8 a.m. in the morning.
I remain Courage Oluwakemi Yusuf.
And I am Joy Ebugun.
Have a nice day. Bye.
Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy. You are watching the Morning Spotlight on Magnet TV with Kemi and Joy.